This is episode 6 of the Emotional Freedom Podcast. And today we want to talk about a very touchy topic, and that is, should you say the words I'm sorry, even though you know that you are not wrong? Stay tuned. Hey there, welcome back for another episode. I'm your host, Luke Bong. Now today, we want to discuss about a topic that whenever I brought it up in my training workshops and seminars, I will have a one group of the participants who will be like nodding their head in agreement, yes, yes, yes. Now there will be another group that will be like, no, I don't agree with you. And some of them will even raise their hand to argue and things like that. And that is concerning the idea of saying you are sorry, even though clearly you are not the one uh, committing the error, or you are not guilty or something like that. You see, let's look at this thing about saying sorry and all that. Yeah. So it's true. If you are not the one doing wrong, then what happens here is, if you say you're sorry, that means that you're not being honest, you are not being sincere. So why should you go and do that? But on the other hand, what I teach people is that if we look at the thing about relationships, right? If we study about two people, or let's make it two first, because three or four will be overcomplicating it. Let's look at two people first. When two people are in a conflict, do you think they really care about who is right or who is wrong? Or would most people actually care about their ego? How many times have we ever done something wrong? We know we are wrong, and yet when somebody tries to talk sense to us, the last thing that we want to do is to listen to them. We would probably close our ears off. We will probably just say something nasty. Hopefully they will just shut up. Isn't that right? And it's all because of our human ego. Now, every one of us, we have an ego. And some people, I've seen small size people, they might be maybe 50 kilograms or maybe 40 kilograms, small size, really small size. But they have the ego the size of a giant. These are people whereby they will just stand their ground and they will refuse to budge even though they are wrong. Now, if you care about a certain relationship, then I think you'll probably agree with me if I say that in a relationship, what matters most would be, how do we preserve that relationship? How do we actually save a relationship? Or how do we make a relationship work? And between who says I'm sorry and between making a relationship work, wouldn't you say that making the relationship work should be of a higher priority? Now, before you start shooting me about, then that is not being sincere, then what about your integrity and all that? Listen first, all right? I have not gone to the good part yet. Now, people with very strong or very, I would say, too big their ego, yeah? People whose ego is too big, egotistical, they call that. One of the things about them is that they are not flexible, meaning to say, win at all cost. And all they want is, they just want to win. They don't really care whether or not they are right and they are wrong. And usually, they will start to care when they realize that they regretted doing something, it's too late to change and all that. Okay, let's not go there because I think that would be a little bit too late. But for you and I, and we know that what's more important is the relationship, we can use the words I am sorry as a very powerful tool, as a leverage for us to turn a relationship around. Do you want to know how? You see, whenever people, they are stuck because they felt like, even though they know they are wrong, they are just not going to budge and all that. One of the things that is going to really soften them up is if they hear the word I'm sorry first. They know they are wrong, but sometimes it's just like that. It's just like that. It's just as if you have this I would say a piece of food stuck in your throat, not going up and not going down. It will really feel very, very difficult to bear, right? So when you say you are sorry, now, here's the thing that you have to bear in mind. When we say we are sorry, especially when we are not doing wrong, we are not sorry for being wrong. Because if we do that, then I think that's dishonest. But there are many things that you can be sorry for. I give you an example. Let's say your good friend, the dog, has just passed away. I think you will find it so easy for you to say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Did you cause the death of the dog? No, right? But it was so easy for you to say, "I'm so sorry to hear that." So you see, the thing here is this. The words "I'm sorry," it has so many different meanings. You can say, "I'm sorry that you feel bad right now. I'm sorry that we don't see eye to eye. I'm sorry that we disagree with each other in this. I'm sorry that you feel down right now. I'm sorry that you are unhappy with me right now." So there are so many ways for you to say, "I am sorry." And the magical part is this. The moment you utter the magic word, "I'm sorry that we don't see eye to eye right now," the magical thing that happens is suddenly the ego in the other person begins to deflate. And that's what we want. Because there's no point talking sense to a person who is ultra defensive, who is trying to protect their own territory, their own turf, etc. There's no point to continue talking like that, because then you are going to work yourself up into anger, into agitation, and the other side, they are just going to be even more defensive. When that happens, then you are going to have a lose-lose situation. So for me, I would feel that in relationship, the way I see it, you can either win the battle and lose the ultimate war. And that's what happens when, in a relationship, both sides insist that they must be right. So yes, you can be right, but so what if the relationship ends after that? Especially if the relationship is important to you. Doesn't make much sense, doesn't it? But when you know how to adjust your own ego, you will find that the other side, their ego will be influenced by yours. If you make your ego really super strong, the other side will try to be 10 times stronger. But when you lower your ego, the other side will begin to lower theirs as well. I know you might be thinking, but what if I lower my ego and the other side, they will just, become ego even stronger, try to push me down and things like that. Now, here's the thing. An experiment was once done whereby a guy was actually on a stage, yeah? He was asked to scold a person first. He was really asked to stand up strong, scold the person. And what happens was, the moment they tried to shift it down, now the person who was scolding was asked to lie down on the floor. And the moment the person starts to lie down on the floor and he was instructed by the trainer, "Now I want you to scold the person standing up." The funny thing was, no matter how hard that person tried to be angry and to scold the person, he just wasn't in a position to do that. And when he wasn't in a position to do that, the other side, which was standing, also felt like there was no point really to engage in a quarrel. So this is how you can actually influence the outcome of a conflict, of a quarrel, etc. Know how to use the words "I'm sorry." Be sincere. Don't just bluff your way out and say I'm sorry," things like that. Because after a while, it just doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay? So remember, in any relationship, if both parties just insist on winning at all cost, ultimately, both parties will end up as losers. But when one party knows how to have a flexible ego, then this person is going to influence the outcome of that relationship. See you tomorrow.